DFW FCA's Faith in Sports. I'm Chris Schneider. Welcome to the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards, honoring the top high school football player and coach in North Texas. The CBS 11 television cameras start rolling at 7 p.m. December the 12th, and we would love to have you in the audience. We have a couple of NFL players on the show today. First, we will hear from former receiver Wade Hopkins, who is now a regional vice president with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
I remember I got a chance to play in the NFL, and I was with the New England Patriots, and I show up, and I got a church home, and one of the first weekends I'm there, I'm in a Sunday school class talking to my Sunday school teacher, who's a coach in New England, Foxborough. I said, hey, because I had been with the Oilers, and Mike Myers, he eventually hired me on staff, but he led our Bible studies and had me share my faith all throughout schools in Houston. So I get to New England, I'm talking to my Sunday school teacher, hey, you want me to come share my faith to your school? He looks at me like I'm nuts. You can't come share your faith in our schools. And so there's just so many barriers to some places in America, but I am so tremendously blessed. FCA started in Oklahoma. Our first ever staffer was hired in Arkansas, and of course Coach Landry put FCA on the map in Texas. I mean, my region is amazing. For me to get to serve, we have leaders in all those places. I mean, so many of my other fellow VPs are trying to hire leaders, and so they're doing it all themselves. I mean, I have 7 men that love Jesus, that are passionate about this ministry. It's not about them. They're serving staff. They're advancing the ministry.
More with former NFL receiver, now FCA's Wade Hopkins momentarily. Also joining us on the show today is a future NFL Hall of Famer. Super Bowl winner, Texas native Drew Brees will bring us this week's DFW FCA 50th Anniversary Classic moment.
I have that time that I set aside each day where I can just be, deep in thought and prayer. The time that I set aside to, read the Bible, to get in the Word. We have Bible studies and couples Bible study throughout the week as well.
More from Drew Brees a little later this half hour. Also on the show today, one of the newest members of the DFW FCA, Weldon Swan, is the Northern Collin County area representative.
Coached for 35 years. I retired in May, and all the years that I did coach, I was the campus huddle coach wherever I was working or coaching. And so I always felt like or thought that once I finished my coaching career that it would be great to serve FCA in some capacity, and decided to retire in May. Felt like it was the right time, and the Lord opened up this door just kind of like an answered prayer.
More from DFW FCA's Weldon Swan in just a few minutes. You can look great and help support DFW FCA at the same time. Check out our 50th anniversary gear at dfwfca.org and look for the FCA store. You'll find things like great gifts, beautiful clothing, amazing accessories. Again, go to dfwfca.org. Our special guest on the show today is a former NFL wide receiver. Wade Hopkins is now a regional vice president for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, serving Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Wade grew up in Houston and went to college in Missouri before turning pro. Wade, thank you so much for joining us here on Faith in Sports today. That's quite a journey you had to get to where you are now.
I look back now, obviously. I was just telling, I'm the chaplain for the track team here at FCA camp this week, and, I was just telling them that I look back and I can remember every coach in my life. We don't always understand why God does certain things, and that's why I was telling the track team, you might have an injury, you might walk through a season where you don't know what's going on, but I look back now and see the hand of God on my life. And Coach, Odin, when I was in Mighty Mite football, he would come pick me up and take me to practice. How was I going to get to practice? My mom was working 2 jobs, trying the best to provide for 4 kids. And I look down and think, he wasn't even a coach. He was a shift worker. But every Little League coach, every Mighty Mite coach, every key volunteer, like I was my daughter's soccer coach, those kids didn't know I was FCA. They called me coach. They thought I knew something about soccer. And I think back to that. Coach Odin, he was a businessman. He was a worker, but he was a coach to me. And then Billy Hurry in junior high. Hopkins, you should wear out a pair of shoes every day. I remember him telling me that. He saw more of me than I saw in myself. He was telling me, don't give up. You work hard. You got an opportunity. And I get to high school, and I blow my knee out first game my senior year. Colleges had started to recruit me. Well, Coach Edwards, he took it upon himself to put together a video of my highlights from my junior year. I didn't even know Division II schools existed. I mean, I was just wanting to go to Miami or Nebraska or Oklahoma, Notre Dame. I didn't know about any Division II or Division III or one NAIA or any of that. And he sent it out to a bunch of schools. And Coach Jim Hall, my college football coach, all those coaches stood in the gap for me in the absence of my father. But then Jim Hall got a chance to plant the seed, and God did the work. And so I can't tell you how I look back and say, Lord, I get a chance now through 150 staff, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, to minister to coaches, to encourage and equip men and women who get paid to be on campus every day to reach young people just like me with the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So it's amazing to look back and think, you knew exactly what you were doing, Lord.
A blown knee leads to an eternity, really, when you think about it. Amazing. One of the amazing things about talking to coaches on this show, Bobby Bowden, Lou Holtz, Tom Osborne, they have all talked about the incredible importance of FCA, because it is a vehicle for people to get to know Jesus Christ. And those vehicles out there can be limited. And this is one of the key vehicles, and they recognize that. It's got to be special to be a part of.
I used to always say sports and music. There's no barrier. Internationally, you go anywhere, sports and music. But the more I think about it, you think about music, everyone kind of likes their genre. Country western, Metallica, orchestra. What? Rap. So music, rap. So music has some inherent barriers to it. If you don't, sports. I mean, I never once thought, that guy's richer than me. I never once thought, that guy's a different color than me. I never once thought, sports brings all races together, all socioeconomic people together. And the power of sport is a long-term obedience in the same direction. It's a common goal over a determined amount of time, a set amount of time, a season, that you do anything possible together. You don't care who it is. You just want to come together as a team to accomplish a goal, and you have a leader called a coach. And that's that bond that you just can't create. Now, as a dad of 3 daughters, and I know this powerful influence, what can I do as a dad to create that same kind of something with each one of my daughters? Because, I'm blessed that they're in sport and that they're running track, and I'm competing in master's track, so we got something together. But if not, every parent should seek to find an opportunity to engage with their kid like a coach gets to. Over 6 to 12 weeks, common goal, blood, sweat, and tears, pain, agony, victory, defeat. That's what bonds a coach and a team. And that's why young men and women look to them and do whatever they say.
More with Wade Hopkins coming right up, and Drew Brees will bring us this week's 50th anniversary classic moment. If the Lord is leading you to be a part of the DFW FCA team, we would love to have you help us spread the news of Christ. Doesn't really matter whether you're a parent, a business leader, church leader, school administrator, coach, teacher, anyone who might be interested in making a difference in your community. FCA offers a whole lot of opportunities to serve. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details. We would love to have you on our team. This is the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards.
You're invited to join us for the television taping of the annual DFW FCA Landry Awards ceremony. Make plans to join us Monday night, December 12th at the Hope Center in Plano as CBS 11 records live to tape the announcement of the best high school football player in North Texas, who also lives out character and leadership attributes on and off the field. Also to be awarded is the Tom Landry High School Football Coach of the Year. The awards presentation starts at 7 Monday night, December 12th. It's free, but you must sign up at dfwfca.org. There's also a reception before the awards ceremony that you're welcome to attend. It starts 1 hour before the awards ceremony and is $10 a ticket. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information. We would love to have you join us Monday night, December 12th for the prestigious Landry Awards ceremony.
In 1966, Coach Tom Landry had the inspiration to start the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in Dallas. This year, Dallas-Fort Worth FCA is celebrating God's amazing impact on coaches and athletes during our 50th anniversary. Over 16,000 students and athletes are involved with FCA in North Texas. Nearly 500 coaches and teachers volunteer their time to influence student athletes. Visit dfwfca.org for more information, including how you can pick up some one-of-a-kind 50th anniversary products like caps, shirts, coffee mugs, and more.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come and join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
Well, Merry Christmas. This is Chauncey Franks. I oversee TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. My wife and I and 3 kids would love to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's.
I'm Chris Schneider. Welcome back to DFWFCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards. We will continue our conversation with former NFL receiver Wade Hopkins in just a bit. Drew Brees will bring us this week's DFWFCA 50th Anniversary Classic moment. Well, here it comes, DFWFCA's annual Weekend of Champions Middle School Camp, February 24th through the 26th. It's at Lakeview Camp in Waxahachie. Now, last year, over 200 young student athletes gave their lives to Christ or rededicated their life to the Lord. You don't want to miss this. The first DFWFCA camp of 2017. It's the Weekend of Champions for middle schoolers. Go to dfwfca.org to get all the information. Well, let's get back to our interview with former NFL receiver Wade Hopkins. Now, Wade, you're a regional vice president for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. You serve Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Is the FCA where you want it to be right now? Is this ministry doing what you want it to be doing?
You know, I'm so blessed to lead the Southwest region. We have 12 vice presidents and my buddies up in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, and my buddy in the New York area, Connecticut, and my buddy trying to start ministry in Utah. I mean, those are tremendous challenges. You know, just some walls that are there. I remember I got a chance to play in the NFL, and I was with the New England Patriots, and I show up, and I got a church home, and one of the first weekends I'm there, I'm in a Sunday school class talking to my Sunday school teacher who's a coach in New England, Foxborough. I said, hey, because I had been with the Oilers, and Mike Myers, he eventually hired me on staff, but he led our Bible studies and had me share my faith all throughout schools in Houston. So I get to New England, I'm talking to my Sunday school teacher, hey, you want me to come share my faith to your school? He looks at me like I'm nuts. You can't come share your faith in our schools. And so there's just so many barriers to some places in America, but I am so tremendously blessed. FCA started in Oklahoma. Our first ever staffer was hired in Arkansas, and of course Coach Landry put FCA on the map in Texas. I mean, my region is amazing. For me to get to serve, we have leaders in all those places. I mean, so many of my other fellow VPs are trying to hire leaders, and so they're doing it all themselves. I mean, I have 7 men that love Jesus, that are passionate about this ministry. It's not about them. They're serving staff. They're advancing the ministry. It is a neat deal. But we did identify a tremendous opportunity in our ministry just over the last 12 months. And Dallas is kind of on the front end of it. I mean, character coaches. And we believe, I mean, I've been rattling off a banner for the last 18 months. Every coach, every team. Every coach, every team. Yes, we lead the nation in certified campuses. We've been doing campus ministry for 60 years. I mean, in our region. They can't be on campus in California. I tried to hire someone, a staff guy in California wanted to transfer to Houston, and he said, well, I need to get a part-time job because, we can't be on campus until it's over. I said, what are you talking about? No, this is going to be full-time. You're going to be on campus the minute the bell rings, 7 a.m. You're there because it's a different culture in California. And so because of our campus ministry, for 60 years, we have a strong presence. But sometimes that could be a weakness because we have one coach reaching a whole campus. So my girls, 9th grade, their campus, they have, 25, 30 kids meet every Friday morning. There's 1,500 kids on their campus, just 9th grade campus only, and so what if we had every one of those coaches reaching the teams they served? And what if we had a key volunteer like I'm our local high school football team's character coach, and I meet with them every Thursday, 4 o'clock. And then I got the baseball team, a character coach, and he meets every Friday with them, and the basketball team, and we're just about to line up a track chaplain, a character coach for our track team on Wednesday. So what if we had 10 Wade Hopkinses? What if we had 10 character coaches on one campus? You're talking about transforming the campus. Now that turns FCA into a go and tell ministry versus a come and see. I think we've been go and tell for 60 years because we're going into the sports world. But if we're not careful, we can just become another program on campus, show up on Friday morning at 6:45. Well, we got 25 to 30 kids of the 1,500 showing up because it's a come and see FCA Friday morning versus equipping the coaches with someone who can walk with them and that can speak their language, baseball, basketball, soccer, be there every week, encourage their team. Now we impact. They had 557 football players just on that one school. We could impact 557 football players if we had a character coach speaking to their 9th grade football team. So FCA is tremendously blessed. We're excited about what God's doing through our ministry in 2016, but the best is yet to come. I mean, we believe that we're going to reach a generation. We're going to double our numbers. We're going to quadruple our huddles because every team, every coach, we're going to put a character coach beside every coach. It's going to be amazing.
Ideas like that are why the Fellowship of Christian Athletes is the largest sports ministry in the world. FCA Regional Vice President, former NFL wide receiver Wade Hopkins. Thank you, sir. Coming up next, we will hear from a surefire future NFL Hall of Famer. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees brings us this week's DFW FCA 50th Anniversary Classic moment. It's time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open. You're invited to join us for the Tee-Off Breakfast. It's January 12th. Dallas Cowboy great Cliff Harris will be joining us for the fun. The breakfast is free. The company, of course, is great, and the cause is even better. Join us for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Tee-Off Breakfast. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the details. This is the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes weekly radio show, Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards.
You are invited to join us for the television taping of the annual DFW FCA Landry Awards ceremony. Make plans to join us Monday night, December 12th at the Hope Center in Plano as CBS 11 records live to tape the announcement of the best high school football player in North Texas who also lives out character and leadership attributes on and off the field. Also to be awarded is the Tom Landry High School Football Coach of the Year. The awards presentation starts at 7 Monday night, December 12th. It's free, but you must sign up at dfwfca.org. There's also a reception before the awards ceremony that you're welcome to attend. It starts 1 hour before the awards ceremony and is $10 a ticket. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information. We would love to have you join us Monday night, December 12th for the prestigious Landry Awards ceremony.
Did you know that after a trip to an FCA sports camp in Estes Park, Colorado in 1962, Dallas Cowboys coach Tom Landry felt inspired to use his position as a coach to influence young student athletes? So in 1966, 50 years ago, Coach Landry helped launch the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in Dallas. Hi, I'm Rick Bowles, North Texas Director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I'd like to ask you to tell us your FCA story. What impact did FCA have or is currently having on your life? Visit dfwfca.org for more information.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and a great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
This is David Fraze, the manager of character coaches for DFW FCA. And on behalf of my wife Lisa, my son Braden, and my daughter Shelby, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back to DFW FCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards. I'm Chris Schneider. New Orleans Saints Super Bowl winning quarterback Drew Brees will bring us the 50th Anniversary Classic moment in just a couple of minutes. We'd like to thank you for your prayers and blessings for North Texas FCA. This ministry has over 16,000 student athletes currently attending after-school Bible clubs that we call FCA huddles. Over 600 volunteer coaches and teachers are involved. Over 900 people volunteer for North Texas FCA in some way. There's always something exciting going on with FCA in North Texas, and we would love to have you join us. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the information. Joining us now is one of the newest members of the DFW FCA team, Weldon Swan. Weldon is now serving as the Northern Collin County area representative. Weldon, thank you for joining us here on Faith in Sports. As so many ministers of Christ in the FCA, you come from a coaching background, right?
Coached for 35 years. I retired in May, and all the years that I did coach, I was the campus huddle coach wherever I was working or coaching. And so I always felt like or thought that once I finished my coaching career that it would be great to serve FCA in some capacity, and decided to retire in May. Felt like it was the right time, and the Lord opened up this door just kind of like an answered prayer.
Amen. So are you going to miss coaching?
Oh, I'm already missing it, and I've already gone through a little bit of withdrawal. I've had to go attend a couple of practices just to kind of satisfy that craving for it, but at the same time I'm really excited about what I'm doing right now. I'm still coaching, but I'm getting an opportunity to coach coaches more so than kids, but I'll still have some contact with athletes as well.
Do you figure that the coaches respect you more because you've been in their shoes?
Well, I don't know about that, but I do think I understand where the coaches are coming from, and as I seek to minister to them, I am very sensitive to the demands on their time, their job responsibilities that they have to take care of. There's not enough hours in the day a lot of times, so I have been there and done that. So because of that, I think maybe I can at least relate to them and minister to them a little bit.
So what is the job of an area representative? People driving down the road, they're listening to you right now, Coach, and they're saying, okay, he works for FCA. What is that? What's his job?
Well, I basically am going to come alongside the FCA huddle coach on every middle school and high school campus, be a resource for them, and then be available as a resource to every coach on every staff in my area. And for anything, it may not be a spiritual need they have, but maybe I can just be a resource for them in a personal capacity, whether they need prayer support. But I'm just, number one, available for anything. If I can facilitate a coach's Bible study for them, if they want to get one going, a Fellowship of Christian Athletes coach's Bible study, I can do that for them. And basically, like I said, just be a resource for them in any way I can.
How excited are you for this new phase of your life?
Well, my wife and I have talked about it, and we've prayed about it, and we all like the familiar. And when you do something as long as I coached, you can kind of maybe, you know what to expect, you know what's out there. I've told my wife and I, we've talked about this, we would both tell you that we trust the Lord. But here this last month coming on board FCA, we're learning to trust Him even more. It's just one step at a time.
How important are wives to FCA ministers like yourself?
Vital. I mean, my wife is more than just a sounding board. I'm getting paid by the ministry of FCA, but my wife is also, as far as I'm concerned, she's a staff member also, because we're in it together. She's already a prayer partner for me. A lot of times she's got ideas that I don't have, and I'll steal them from her and use them.
Absolutely. Okay, so FCA area reps have to raise their own salaries, basically. So if somebody wants to help you out, either to volunteer or to donate, how do they go about doing that? How can they get in contact with you? Well,
I appreciate you asking that. On the FCA's website, there's a place you can go. One of the links is to browse the local staff. And if I'm in their area and they would like to support the ministry of FCA through my efforts, they can go through Browse Local Staff and click on that, and then it just lists us all in alphabetical order. And right by my name, there's my little mugshot of me and a button they can click that'll take them right to my page. And then they can either make a one-time gift, do it monthly, however they want to do it. But you're right, that's one of the things that I'm having to get used to is building that support team, and I'm so grateful for the ones that God's led to me already. I mean, God is a blessing because it's not my charm and good looks that's doing it. It's God moving on people's hearts to support FCA.
And if they want to volunteer their time, how do they get in touch with you?
My email address is wswan@fca.org. And I would welcome, FCA can never have enough volunteers. So the more people that are interested, we can sure find a place for them to serve alongside us.
Weldon Swan, Northern Collin County area representative for the DFW FCA. Thank you, sir. It is time now for the 50th anniversary classic moment delivered this week by a guy who is headed for the Pro Football Hall of Fame someday soon. Drew Brees is an outspoken Christian and tells us how he tries to maintain his daily walk with Christ.
I have that time that I set aside each day where I can just be, deep in thought and prayer. The time that I set aside to read the Bible, to get in the Word. We have Bible studies and couples Bible study throughout the week as well. Chapels prior to the game that, I love to attend and just, have the opportunity to hear a lot of different speakers or chaplains, pastors from, around the area and then wherever we might travel to. Just kind of hear their perspective or maybe a little bit of kind of the way that they're able to relate it to us. I just find that that's really a great way to just, you can put all your cares aside from the day, whether it be your job or personal or what have you, and it's just your time to just take a deep breath and get into the Word, be with the Lord, and you find that, by having that time each and every day, it just puts you at peace.
Saints quarterback Drew Brees with this week's classic moment. Thank you, Drew. Is God calling you to serve alongside a middle school or high school coach in your area? DFW FCA is excited to announce our Character Coaching Initiative. Training is available. Go to dfwfca.org and get all the information. Coming up next, we'll tell you who the special guests will be joining us here on the show next week. This is DFW FCA's Faith in Sports, brought to you by the Landry Awards.
You're invited to join us for the television taping of the annual DFW FCA Landry Awards ceremony. Make plans to join us Monday night, December 12th at the Hope Center in Plano as CBS 11 records live to tape the announcement of the best high school football player in North Texas, who also lives out character and leadership attributes on and off the field. Also to be awarded is the Tom Landry High School Football Coach of the Year. The awards presentation starts at 7 Monday night, December 12th. It's free, but you must sign up at dfwfca.org. There's also a reception before the award ceremony that you're welcome to attend. It starts 1 hour before the award ceremony and is $10 a ticket. Go to dfwfca.org for all the information. We would love to have you join us Monday night, December 12th for the prestigious Landry Awards ceremony.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, but it's just about time to start gearing up for the 40th annual Tom Landry Open Golf Tournament. DFW FCA will hold the annual TLO Tee-Off Breakfast January 12th. The breakfast is free to the public, and Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor great Cliff Harris will be there to tell a few stories. Come and join us for some fun, have a free breakfast, and help us celebrate one of the greatest coaches of all time and great man of God. It's the Tee-Off Breakfast for the Tom Landry Open, Thursday, January 12th. Go to dfwfca.org for all the details.
I'm Chris Schneider. Thank you for joining us for DFW FCA's Faith in Sports radio show, brought to you by the Landry Awards. We would love to connect with you. Our website is dfwfca.org. Find us on Facebook at DFWFCA and find us on Twitter at FCA-DFW. Our thanks to our special guests on the show today, Wade Hopkins and Drew Brees. I'm Chris Schneider, the Sports and Spirit Speaker. You can find me at radioactivespeaking.com. Godly messages with stories from the greatest coaches and athletes of all time. Find me, the Sports and Spirit Speaker, at radioactivespeaking.com. We've got another great show lined up for you next week. Ron Case, who co-founded the DFW FCA along with Tom Landry, will tell us some amazing behind-the-scenes stories. And then former Cowboys quarterback John Kitna will bring us the 50th anniversary classic moment. Guests scheduled to join us in future weeks include Mike Singletary, Bobby Bowden, Chad Hennings, and many more. FCA's Faith in Sports is an outreach of DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes, hosted and produced by me, Chris Schneider. Executive producer is Rick Bowles. For info on DFW FCA, contact Rick at rbowles, that's RBOWLES, at FCA.org. And remember this week to do all that you do unto the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you. From the DFW Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Faith in Sports.